This is the Long Line Roses bundle. It includes a 6x8 stamp set, dies for every single image on the stamp set, as well as some stencils to help you color in those images. Now, pay no attention to these little arrows on my die right here. This was a sample set. I wanted to reinforce these dies, so your finished dies, when you purchase them, will be reinforced in a couple little areas. But I want to show you exactly how this stamp is meant to work with the stencils as well. So the stamp set has 2 large floral elements that I've given you stencils to color them in. So the stencils themselves, when you use them together on the images, will color the flowers like this. And each kind of rose itself has 3 colors, and then the leaves have 2 colors. And I've labeled every element on the stencils to give you, some guidance for how you can use the stencils. So for instance, let's look at this stencil right here. On this first stencil, I've etched next to this one, Flower 1 Medium. Over here is Flower 1 Light, and also Flower 1 Leaves Light. So this is going to give you some guidance on how to color in your floral elements. Moving on to a different stencil, this one has Flower 2 Leaves Light and Flower 2 Light. So basically the only thing you need to remember is that this is Flower 1. I made it 1 because it's at the top of the stamp set, and this is Flower 2. So when you look at the different elements on the stencil set, you can figure out what goes where. So for instance, this one says Flower 1 Medium. So I can line it up, let's see, about right there on that rose. And then I can ink on a medium color for my rose. So you can do the same thing with all of the leaves. There are these 2 stencils here. These are the 2 leaves for the Flower 2. So we've got Flower 2 Leaves Dark and Flower 2 Leaves Light over here. So all you have to do is line them up over the stamped image. So let's look at some cards that I made using this stamp set. Here's this first card. I basically did the stenciling on this large rose here, and I also did a greeting from the stamp set. But the colors I used over here are Plumberry, Briar Rose, and Ballet Slipper for the actual rose itself. And then for the leaves down here, I used Avocado and Artichoke. I used the same exact blending colors for this card. So as you can see, the roses are the same color and the leaves are the same color as well. But for this one, I just die cut it out and had it coming off the edge of the card. I also stamped that greeting in Plumberry ink. Here's one where you get a really good idea of how you can fill in a 5x7 card with both of those large floral elements. And for this ink blending, I did a trio of inks to make it, sort of like a coral color. So I used Sorbet, Grapefruit, and Nectar. Same color on the leaves as the previous cards. Using that same color combo, I have this card right here. Another one of those cut out floral elements. And then I wanted to show you a couple of different ways to use the stamps, but not, stenciled or inked or anything like that. So this first one keeps the floral, the rose with the stems, completely black and white. And I just let it be on this card and let the colorful greeting take center stage. And for this example, I just stamped those roses on white cardstock in Pebble ink. Pebble's a nice, soft, kind of warm gray shade, and kind of like a neutral, and it works really well for a really quiet background. So once again, this is the Long Line Roses bundle.